Usually once a season, there's a film that comes along and blows my mind. Last year it was Brain Damage. This year it managed to be 1979's When a Stranger Calls, but not nearly for the same reason. Not at all, actually. Young Carol Kane is babysitting two younger children, but she keeps getting anonymous phone calls that are either someone hanging up or a male voice asking, "Have you checked the children?" repeatedly, all night. She doesn't check the children, by the way. She does, however, continue to try to do her homework, but the calls keep coming. She calls the police and they let her know there's not a whole lot they can do, but they will trace the next call if possible and send a patrol car by, so actually there was a lot they could do. So far this is very quaint as Carol Kane raids the fridge and tries to stay calm. Still, the calls keep coming and she keeps not checking the children, and then finally the police are able to get through to her and inform her that the calls are coming from inside the house.
Leave me alone!
Jill, this is Sergeant Sacker. Listen to me. We've traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. Our squad car's on the way over there right now. Just get out of that house. Jill.
And wait, hold up. We're only 20 minutes into this movie. That's not the finale? That's not the grand finale of When a Stranger Calls? The one thing everyone knows about this movie, whether they've seen it or not, happens in the first act? So now Charles Durning is here, along with motherfucking Superfly. And the movie seems to wrap up by explaining that the calls were in fact coming from a separate line inside the home, as someone broke in and brutally murdered the two kids with his bare hands. He's been apprehended, and then, wait, what? 7 years later? This is fucking wild! The whole movie I thought I'd piece together over time through pop culture references happens entirely in the first act? After the time jump, we learn that the dude who killed the kids and tormented poor Carol Kane has been in an asylum but just recently escaped. He's probably okay for now, but as his meds start to wear off, he'll return to his demented state. Durning, who has since retired from the police force, is hired by the parents of the murdered children to track the killer down, and maybe, take care of him. And so yeah, the dude is out and just wandering, desperate for conversation. Things start to feel a little like May during these scenes, as he's clearly just craving basic human interaction, but is also a weirdo. In a way, you feel bad for this dude, or would if the movie hadn't started with him ripping two kids apart with his bare hands. Anyway, while this happens, Durning investigates and also wrestles with the moral dilemma as to whether or not he should kill the dude. Durning catches up to him, but doesn't actually catch him. The dude, now back to full-blown crazy, decides to start harassing his old friend Carol Kane, now married with kids of her own. And she obviously remembers the previous event quite vividly.
Hello? Hello?
Have you checked the children?
Someone help us!
Why don't they get Dr. Jill? What's happening? What's wrong? What's wrong?
Man, he's at the phone. He's got my baby. Kurt Duncan, he's back. He has
on the
my
phone.
babies.
When a Stranger Calls was originally a short film from director Fred Walton called The Sitter. He based it on the urban legend, which had also influenced bits of the 1974 film Black Christmas. But after the success of Halloween, he decided to expand it into a full feature, adding the second and third acts that blew my mind by existing. There's some gimmicky filmmaking / editing going on here that does not work. And it's disjointed as hell. It's like two movies and an immediate sequel all wrapped into one film. I think it's still probably worth a look despite its awkwardness, simply because of its historical horror importance. Wait, did this movie just discover THX?